Hello and welcome to the first live stream of the Infinity Chimp Light consoles. My name is Angelo and I am a product specialist and one of the instructors of the Chimp. We are here today at the Arcus College in Heerlen, and next to me is Wesley. And Wesley, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Wesley Hubin. I work here at the Arcus College as a teacher for the students that are interested in light and sound engineering and technician stuff. And I'm also a beta tester for the Chimp console, so I see a lot of beta versions coming my way before they go to you guys.
Yeah. That's nice. Okay, the intention of this live stream is to answer 3 of the most asked questions that we received from our Chimp forum or from our Chimp users. One of the most asked questions is, we all know that the Chimp has a lot of fixtures already built in. In fact, the whole Atlas base, more than 15,000 fixtures are already built in. But when I want to make my own fixture file, is that possible? And is it difficult to make your own fixture file, Wesley? Maybe you can show us.
Well, it's possible to make your own fixture file. It's user-created. It's also very easy to build your own fixture file. So just let's go in and create a simple file, just a basic file.
A new one.
Yes, a new one. So we go to Setup. Then we go to Fixture Library. And in the fixture library, there are 3 tabs. We have the factory library, the user library, and the show library. Yeah. So in the fixture library, of course, all the fixtures already implemented by Highlight is already present.
Yeah, you cannot change them?
No, we cannot change them. We can, however, when we go to the show library, in this library, all the fixtures currently available in my show are present here. We can add a new fixture by just pressing the Add button. And now we can say, okay, the manufacturer, we have to fill out this form, so we can find our fixture later. So we go to manufacturer, we take, for example, Infinity, we go and make a spot. Then you have to select the mode. Yeah. The mode can be a 10 channel or 16 channel or 26 channel.
Advanced or basic?
Yes, advanced or basic. It depends on the DMX chart of each fixture individually. So let's go and make a 6 channel mode. 6 channel. Now we press next. We have to enter the channel count in this menu. So we decided on 6 channel mode fixture, so we create 6 channels. Now we have the console generates 6 different channels with 0 parameters assigned to them. We have to assign each parameter by hand.
Yes.
So let's go and take the the empty cell according to channel 1. We press the set button. And now we see all the parameters which are present and which we can choose from for all moving heads, functionality, etc., etc. Yeah. So we can also change the filters on the right side to the corresponding parameter which we are looking for. So let's go to position, take the pond position, press OK. So the first parameter is now a pond parameter. Yes. Let's make a second one. Let's make this a pond find channel. Okay. And as you can see,
I've seen also, yeah, that the pan is not available anymore.
Yes, because we already used the 8-bit pond channel. Yeah. So let's go and hit the find button, and now pond is again available for the 16-bit channel for the movement. So press OK. So now it's pond and pond find. Let's do the same for tilt. Let's do the same for tilt find. Tilt find. And now we go for a gobo wheel. So that's gobo wheel 1. And we'll take, for example, a color wheel 1. Yeah. So now we're finished. We can go and save and close this. We can go to our patch. We can add the fixture. We have to choose from the user library because we have to choose from the show library because we created it by our own.
Show, yes.
So it's the Infinity Spot 6 channel mode. We press next. We'll just go ahead and make, we just enter 1 with the fixture ID 1. Press next. We give it an auto patch. That's fine, it's not a problem. Okay. So right now, as you can see, when I select fixture type 1, or fixture ID 1, I have my positions, my colors, my color wheel 1, and my gobo wheel 1.
Okay.
Also, to access the 16-bit channel of the pond and tilt, we hold down the Infinity button on the console, And then, as you can see, there's a dash, and that means that we are controlling.
Ah, yes, you can see it also here. Yes.
Yes, we are controlling the pond fine and the tilt fine right now.
Yeah.
Okay, the only thing missing right now, when we go to the already existing Furion S401, when we go to Gobo and we press the encoder wheel of Gobo 1, then we have all the images available in the moving head as on stage scene. So Gobo 1 is a star Gobo, Gobo 2 is a psycho Gobo.
Yeah.
So you can just press this.
Yeah.
These are ranges predefined by Atla base.
And you have to program the ranges with your with your fixture that you just created. You have to program the ranges yourself.
Yes, we can. Yes, we have to enter them also manually. So we'll just make 2 Gobos and 2 colors, for example.
Yeah.
So we go back to setup. We go to fixture library. We go to show library. Then we go to the spot. We press edit fixture, and now we go down to the Gobo 1. We go to the ranges. Right now it says no ranges.
No, yes.
We hit set.
Set button.
Yes, and we go and add a range. The first range will be 0 till 10. We can name this to open, so this is no Gobo inserted, it's just an open Gobo. And the representation we can choose from icon, single color or dual color. So because it's in Gobo, I want to go for icon.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, by pressing the icon button, I got a lot of Gobos to choose from.
Yeah.
So let's go and take...
These ranges are normally given in the manual from the moving head that you are
Yes, according, you have to have the DMX chart for,
Yes.
for corresponding fixture to enter this correctly. So let's go and take just a simple open one. We press OK, and then we make another one. That's range 11. Oh, excuse me, 11 till 20. We name this Gobo 1. And we choose from the icon. Again, by pressing the icon button, we can choose from the list, and we take this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, the ranges for the Gobos are set.
I see there's a lot of Gobos inside. There is really a Gobo that
Yes.
will fit.
Yes, there are plenty of Gobos here.
Yeah.
So a lot of time browsing. Okay, so now we have the Gobo wheel set up correctly with ranges. We go for the color wheel. So again, we go down to color, then to ranges. We add the first range.
Oh, that's easy.
Yes, that's very easy. It's all. Everything you have to do is select the cell, hit the set button, and you automatically open the menu opens. So let's go for the first range. That's 0 until 10. This one is white, so let's name it white. We go to representation. We take the single color, and as we press the square white on the right side, we can mix our own color, or we can choose from the quick colors predefined.
Yeah.
So let's take the quick color. It's white. We
And
press
then
OK.
when I have a wheel with the dual color, I can program the two?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So let's go and, for example, make another range. And now we go to for 21 until 30. We name this to red. We choose the single color, red. And right now, in between the 10 and the 21, we can make a split color. So let's go and make another range. It will be 11 into 20. We call this split. And then we have to choose from representation the dual color.
Ah, yes.
And say the first color is white, the second color is red. And right now when we press OK, there's a split color between the white and the red. So I press OK, I press save and close. I go back to my programmer to see if everything works as the way we want. So the spot, when we select it, fixture ID 1, and I press the encoder of the Gobo wheel 1, we'll see we have Gobo 1 and we have the open Gobo. The same goes for the color. So I select color, I press the color 1, then I have the white-red split, and the red.
Works very quickly.
It's very quickly and very easy, yes.
No, very nice.
You can either choose to make it very advanced with ranges, or just the basics. If you only have 1 hour of pre-programming, just the basics you put in there, and it's working
really
fine.
Nice. And so now we made a total new moving head, but we also can take an existing one and change them a bit.
Yes, so
we don't have to start all over.
Yes, if it's, for example, if you have a beam and it has the same DMX chart as a Sharpie, you can use the Sharpie file. So I'll show you that. It's a fixture library. We go to show library. We press add fixture, and then we can choose from use existing fixture as template, You only have to choose the fixture,
Yes, yeah,
and it
that's-
already generates, including all the ranges, so you can tweak them a little bit to the corresponding DMX chart
Nice.
of your fixture.
No, great. That works
Okay.
very good. Okay, the second question that we get a lot on the forum is how do I start making a show? Of course, when you have 50 light programmers, they all program different. But can you show us the way how you
Yes,
would
so
start a show?
I brought my own show. How convenient, of course. I started my own show. So let's go to manage shows. We'll take my basic show, and I'll show you this one.
Oh,
So it's pretty crowded. My show is always from the magic sheet, so all my busking is happening on the magic sheet. First thing that you might notice, the executor buttons are not flash or strobe buttons. They are group selection buttons.
okay.
I always use 5 executor pages for buttons and faders, 4 to play with while I'm operating, and the 5th one I use for programming. And I think it's convenient to have the groups under a button instead of
You can
on a touchscreen.
select very fast. Yeah.
Yes, of course. So when I go to programming and I hit the spot, so execute a button 1, all my spots are pulled into the programmer. I can go from there to my presets.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's one of the functions I currently use the most. So when I'm done programming, I'll just skip one page up, and then I have my strobes and strobe whites, etc.
Yeah.
So to save some time, I always use commands in my show. I love the command function. So for example, execute a button 1 is a color switcher. So execute a 1 till 6 is my strobe random. On the visualizer you can see it. It says it's a spot strobe random, the spot strobe fast, the wash strobe random, the wash strobe fast, the beam strobe random, and the beam strobe fast. When I press the switch button, it's a spot strobe random open white.
So you
and
use this executor to switch the function of the other executors.
Yes. So executor 1 is now the strobe random right. And when I press the executor button 7, it's the strobe random in the predefined color that I choose on my magic sheet.
Yeah. That's a very powerful function, also the command function.
Very powerful function. So when we go to, just check the list so you can see what I was doing. Yeah. I go to the queues. This is the switch list again.
You're now checking what in the command
yes,
is,
we go to the commands and I'll show you how it's built up. So just scroll to the right.
Those are the commands, yes.
Yes, there are 6 commands, so let's go and open that with the set button. So again, I choose which parameter I want to tweak. Yeah. I hit the set button, it opens.
Yeah, and you see also the skip function.
Yes, you can see it's containing 6 queue lists. Those are linked to my executor 1 until 6, and they skip between Q1, Q2.
Yeah, and I see now here that you use this executor, this command for the queue list to skip. Can a command also do other functions? I see here append line or what?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
One of the things I use in the show, I use it to control my master speed. You can tell the executor button you're a tap sync button to be a tap sync.
Yeah. On speed master 1 then.
Yes, so you don't have to actually link one of the speed masters to Speedmaster 1 and use that as a tap, but you can put the tap sync on every programmable button on the table.
So you will save a button here and you use an executor to make a tap sync.
Yes, so you just have to choose the action you want, so you can do a manual go or toggle go, which I will be demonstrating in a while.
Okay.
So tap sync, and you can choose the master speeds, so master 1 until 3. Which you want. Then press OK, and the line is already.
Yeah. You are free to assign which command you want to use.
Yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Second thing, which I really like in the show, I use the off if overwritten tool. So, for example, the top row of colors is for all the fixtures currently in my show. Yes. So when I go to red, the entire set will go to red. When I change to orange, the entire set will go to orange. But I can also select per fixture type my own color. So I can, for example, go spots red, washes orange, RGB yellow, and the beams go to green. And then everything is set. Yeah. The off if overwritten tool allows me to not have a crowded or busy space in my screen.
Everything would be green
Everything would be
otherwise.
green if if overwritten wasn't there.
Yeah.
One trick that I used to contain these basic colors, because when I hit the strobe open white, theoretically I'm overwriting my colors.
Yeah.
There's a dummy fixture present, which doesn't allow this one to be released. So that's the color function. That's just awesome in a basic show to use. It keeps it nice, clean, and it's a good look to not have everything green and just have a good feel of where you are in the show. And
everybody programs it his own way.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. Third thing and last thing I use in my show, I call it a bump menu. I choose which bump to run, and it will automatically run. So I'm just pulling down the dimmers, and we see here it's a spot. It works from top to bottom. So the D1 V2 is a 2-part dim step between my 2 spots. I can tap that with execute button 10. So that's again the command.
Command function.
Yes, I just showed you. So I can tap it, but I can also again with a command, say my tempo toggle is on or off. So this is the auto chaser built into the console, and now I'm disabling the auto chaser.
Auto chase, yes.
Now I can say, again with a command, so there's a lot of command things going on.
Programmers should use that.
Yes, the executor 9 is also a manual go for that chaser. So I like to have control when the band is playing to tap it by hand, so I don't have to re-tap every time. So it's nice to just have that on a manual control.
Yeah.
And you can choose from the bump menu what should happen. So if I take, for example, the up 1 V2 and the white 1 V2, then it also bumps up and down through the tilt and through the white color.
Yeah.
If I want to release everything at once, there's another command on on executor 8. When pressing this, everything goes off, and I'm back at square one.
Yeah, yeah. And you use a lot of the real executors, not the virtual executors, because the magic sheet makes from a queue list behave like an executor.
Yes.
In fact, yeah, that's
yes. I think that's the best function they recently added. So just go to a magic sheet, to an empty magic sheet. We'll press Edit Magic Sheet. We press Add, and now we can say I want to add queue lists. So let's go and take one of the colors. So just take the beam color. So we'll take 8 colors, okay. So it's already imported into the magic sheet. I just have to arrange it linear so it's nice and tight. Let's go. And now I can say by selecting the queue list and pressing the edit button, I can again change the functions of the buttons that you can also change from the executor faders and executor buttons. Yeah. So now I can say it's a toggle, it's a go, or it's a go off.
Yeah, when you want a strobe, you make it go and off, for example.
Yes,
and
for example, yes. So
nice.
by exiting, you can toggle the white on and off, the orange on, the yellow on and off.
Yeah, and then in the normal programmer screen of the Chimp, you should use now an executor, but in the magic sheet you don't need to, because
yes, the magic sheet functions as an executor. Yes, of course.
Really,
yes.
really nice. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you for sharing your show with us.
No
Very
problem.
Nice. Yeah. The third question, what we have a lot, comes from our forum and of Facebook, and it depends on multi-fixtures, multi-cell fixtures. Yes, it is not yet in the Chimp implemented, but it will be implemented. Yeah, programmers are doing their real effort to get the function into the operating system from the Chimp, but it takes some time because the multi-cell fixtures are in the whole system. Every bit will be attached to that multiple fixture. That is why it takes a little bit long. And while we think a stable Chimp is the main thing that we want. We don't want the Chimp to crash. That is why it takes a little bit longer.
Yes.
But it will come.
I think it's an important function for the community to have.
Yeah.
It's I also see it a lot on forums and Facebook pages, the request to have the multi-fixture. And the things I heard was that at PLS 2019 in Frankfurt, there will be a beta which shows the possibility on how multi-fixture will be implemented in the future in our console.
Yeah, yeah.
So as a beta tester, I know the struggles, I know the things we have to change before it releases. So right now we always release stable versions, and we like to continue that process.
Yeah. What the people maybe don't know yet is that we are working now on this Chimp
Yes.
with a beta version.
Yes, if the guys and girls at home did pay attention, they would have seen
Yes.
that a lot of new features are added to the 1.09 version. For example, the outline colors of the square.
Yeah.
So-
How do you get those?
Yeah, well, let's go to programming and we go to QList. You can press double time name, so name. The command line changes to appearance, and the appearance, when the command line says appearance, and you choose a QList, you can either mix your own color or choose again from the existing quick colors. So if we make this white, the outline will be white.
Oh, yes, nice.
And the same goes one step deeper when we go to, for example, let me switch back to gobos. When we want to do this for gobos or groups, we can use the edit button. We'll press the gobo preset. This is an open preset, an open gobo preset. We can again choose to set content icon.
Oh, yeah.
Then again, we have the same as we had in the fixture builder, so we can choose an open content. So let's take an open one, not the correct one, but let's go. But it's one step deeper if you use all presets. So if you say I want to have, for example, I want the open gobo to always be red, you can also say my content color will be red. So now it's an open gobo with the color red inside.
Ah, yes.
So you can make different layers in how detailed your presets should be. And when I press OK, it will be added as my open.
Yeah, and also in the previous versions, we needed to keep up to think about names.
Yes.
Yeah, open gobo.
Yes.
You don't need to. Now we have.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
but it's good memory training though.
Yeah. This
To have
okay.
Color,
Yeah.
filter colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, if the people have questions, they can ask them on our live chat. So we will try to answer them now or afterwards. So it's no problem. If you have questions, just ask. Okay. When I give trainings, sometimes I have a little trick of tips, you know, even at the advanced courses.
Yes.
When I program, for example, a moving head with a position, pan and tilt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a position, pan and tilt.
Yeah. And I have, for example, both pan and both tilt.
Yes.
And I just want to delete the pan. I don't want the pan. Pan. I made a mistake.
So there are two ways to kick out or stomp out a parameter that you already touched. You can choose it. You can hit the screen tilt, the column tilt, or you can press the encoder and then say off. But much more convenient and much more handy is. So I made a mistake again with the tilt. I'll hold the off button and I'll just move.
Oh, you just tap the.
Yes, I just tap the tilt wheel. I just move it to the left or to the right. There's no problem, and it's already not red, so it will not be stored into an executor or preset.
It's out of the program.
Yes,
now.
yes, exactly. So that's a great function. Also new in the version 109, it's a solo button. So right now we can say I want my spots. Currently we only had highlight. Now we have also solo. So when we hit solo and we press next, all output on stage will turn black, except for the selected fixture in programming.
Ah, yes, we see the selected fixtures.
Yes, there's the selected
fixtures. Ah, yes, so you can run through all the...
Yes.
Ah, there's also, and this function is also new now in version 1.09.
Yes, and there's also a quick key a shortcut for it. Just press the infinity button, hold it down, and then press highlight.
Ah, that's even quicker.
Yes, and it toggles the solo on and off.
Yeah.
So for people who are not comfortable working with a touchscreen, they can also just use the short keys.
Yeah, very nice, thank you. In the queue list, when they have a fade in time and a delay time, is there also something changed?
Yes, we have real-time information sharing how long the fade time will be. So for example, this is my first queue list. When I just press through it, it just skips instant. But if I add a fade time to it, and I make the button a go button, I can fade between the cues, and it now will output the status, so the duration of the fade in visual content. Also, it is shown above the fader in the cue list function.
Yes.
You'll see the bar is loading until the fade time is done. So
you have
when
a
I
better
use
visual to see what is happening in real time.
Yes. So when I use the delay function and I press 2 seconds delay, first it will run the delay. Secondly, it will run the end fade.
Yes, you can see that very good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, this is the fade 4 seconds for the first, the fade for the second cue, and for the third cue, it's first 2 seconds delay, then 4 seconds fade.
Okay, nice. Yes, very nice. Thank you. One other question that we get a lot is there our on PC version coming? And I know that there will be one in the future, but it will be not yet be available at Frankfurt, so it takes also some time to make that. And also, again, if the software is stable and our beta tester has tested it to find to be good, then it will be released. But it's not yet ready for Frankfurt. So they are working on it. So that's also nice to have. Our programmers are doing the best.
Yes. Also, a question I read a lot on the forums is why that there is no effect pool or a preset pool for effects. You can achieve that by just reloading the cue into your programmer. So, for example, if I take my, let's go for the spots, or for the beams, sorry. I have an in-out effect running. Yes, in-out effect running. And I want, for example, I want to change this. I just simply press the select button on the console. I select the cue list. Then I press the load button, the cue button, and then the corresponding cue. So that will be cue number 1. I press enter, and now the effect is pulled into my programmer. I can change it on the fly. Also, when I want to add more fixtures to the effect, you just simply select the fixtures you want to add. So now I included all my spots. I press the 21 fixture cell of the effect window. I press the set button, and now there is a choice to make. Replace programmer selections by FX fixtures, merge the FX fixtures, or store selected fixtures into effect. So when I press this one,
yes, you have copied now the effect into the selected fixtures.
Yes. So now my spots are doing the same thing as the beams.
And there is like a kind of effect pool you can copy when you have made an effect. You can copy your effect into other fixtures, and then you have.
It takes 2 steps more than just pressing the preset, but it does work. You can use it. You can also build one big cue list with all your effects inside and just load it out and then program it everywhere else on the desk.
There's a workaround around it. Maybe an effect pool will come in the future. It's possible. Yeah, maybe.
We cannot see in the future.
No. To go on that one is sometimes we have also on Facebook, for example, a question: is the new hardware coming? There is a new hardware coming. It is coming on the Frankfurter Messe at the exhibition. Is a G2 coming? We call it Chimp G2 Generation 2. It will have a new touchscreen. It will has a capacitive touchscreen, just like your phone. No resistive that you have to tap, but a capacitive. And it will have a different mainboard also. But the most important thing to say is that all the new software that is coming will be compatible for all the chimps.
Yes. So I think for us users, us end users, it's very important to rely on the software we already have. So by changing software, that's just not a good step. So I'm glad to hear that you guys just keep it in this software and keep programming this software and keep developing this software for better updates and better features. And also on the models Chimp 300 and Chimp 100, what we now have, that the software is running stable. It will always be running stable.
Yes, and also with the new software that is coming, it will be compatible on all the chimps. On all not the older ones, but the chimps we now have and the new ones, all the software is compatible.
Yes.
So all with the new functions.
Yes.
Just like the Magic Sheet. I was in Frankfurt and we showed last year the Magic Sheet, and people asked me, do I have to buy now a new Chimp. No, you don't
Yes.
have to buy a new Chimp. It's running.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's
Also, I heard a rumor that you could buy more fixtures of the limit. That's also
No.
not true. There
No, no,
will
no.
be no buying into fixtures or throwing more money at the console to
No.
make it do more.
No.
That's not the way we want to go.
No, no.
They want to go. Sorry,
No.
I'm not.
No, that's right. No, very nice.
Do we have some questions from
yes,
people at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, people at home.
Yeah, hi people at home. I just hear, is a Chimp, is it possible to use as a pixel mapper? When I get that question, I think yes, when you want to use Magic Sheet, you can use it as a kind of pixel mapper, but for real pixel mapping, I think you better use software like maybe Arcus or
Yes, I
media.
think a media server is better for the pixel mapping.
Yeah.
There is a way to work with the pixel mapping, but it takes some time. So you can make, for example, if you know how much matrix panelen or RGB cells that there is in your pixel mapping, you can just take the time and make one good plot in a Magic Sheet, and then just go crazy with the selection order and creating different effects and groupings and mirroring, and then you can do nice stuff.
Yeah, I saw when you want to select fixtures, you can drag them, but maybe you can show us the draw selection.
So when the Magic Sheet was implemented, it was pretty basic. Right now they have added a lot of functions. So for example, the draw select. In the old situation, it was only box selection.
Yeah.
When I go from left to right, in the left corner down, you'll see it's from top to bottom, from left to right. From left to right, from top to bottom. And when I go from top to bottom, from left to right, it also knows that I did that.
Oh, yes.
So that's a smart function that's already in there. And the draw selection is just excellent, because when I want to draw and only pick a snake style,
Just really draw your
you can just
selection.
draw the movement or the dimmer you want.
And
So
when you
that's-
have a matrix like 10 by 10, you can draw your own.
Yes. Also,
Figures.
a cool feature is the circle detection feature, which is already implemented. So if we, for example, let's go and take a new one. We'll add the spots again, add a Magic Sheet, add selected fixtures. We arrange them in a circle. Just make them a little bigger. We press apply. And right now, when I say circle detection clockwise, and I take all, you see the circle's already
Yes.
detected.
Yeah, he sees the shape of a circle and then makes it clockwise.
Yes, and makes it clockwise.
Yeah.
The same goes when you go the other way around, the counterclockwise. As soon as he sees a circle,
Goes all the way
Yes.
around. Yeah.
of course, important to know is the first fixture you hit with the box will be your starting
The
point for
first.
the fixture,
Yeah.
for the circle.
No, very nice. So if people have questions, then we're eager to answer them. But I think we have.
Very eager to answer them,
Yeah.
yes. Otherwise, we go and grab a beer.
Mhm.
Is Ron talking to you?
Yes, I got something in my ear here. Something, yeah. No, just to say again to the people that when we will release a new software with new features, it will be compatible on all chimps. It's not that we get a new chimp that is only compatible on the new chimp. No, it's only like a new touchscreen that will come. There's a new mainboard, but all the software with the new features will be compatible. And I can say, just come to Frankfurt, and you will see the new Chimp, the new touchscreen, the new maybe. Yes, and the new features from the
features.
1.09.
Yes.
Maybe we will have a release there. I think we will
Yeah.
have the release there from the 1.09. So yeah, come to Frankfurt and
Yeah, and feel for yourself.
Yeah,
Feel for yourself.
convince yourself. Yeah.
Come and work with the console. Just experience how easy it is to program.
Yes, and if people have ideas, go to the forum, at the highlight forum. sometimes people call us on the telephone, and then I tell them, like, you're now talking with only with only one person. If you put it on the forum, a lot of users, and also like we guys at Highlight, we see what you mean. If you have new ideas, if there are a lot of questions about, I want this, I want that in the new software, we will take that, we will give it to our programmers, and it will be implemented. Once again, I know multi-fixtures is very high on the wish list, at our wish list too, and it will come. Take some time.
As an end user, I always had the feeling that you guys really do listen. There's no commercial sales speech for me. No. I'm an independent party in this one. I call Ron up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I ask for options for functionality, and they already implemented so much features that the community asked. So just we'll give you some time, and then you come with the multi-fixtures.
Yeah, when the first Chimps came out, I had a lot of people, not a lot, but I had people at the trainings who say, like, it's a nice machine, but we do miss a lot of fixtures that our other desks from the competitors have. Now, when we gave our ideas to our programmers, the software development went like this, you know.
Yes.
And the people who said that in the past are now using a Chimp.
Yes.
And that's nice to hear, you know. Now, now the features are built in what they need. Yeah, that's really important to listen to our users, to listen to the community, what they want, and we will take care of it, that it will be implemented.
Okay,
yeah?
Great.
Okay, yeah, that. I think that was enough for this session.
If there are no questions.
No, I will thank all the viewers on the net. Thank you for Wesley for that explanation and for sharing his show. Normally he doesn't do that, but this time you make an...
I'll send you the bill.
Yeah, okay, that's also good. Thanks to Arcus College and to the teachers that allowed us to be here, to use this great place. And thank you for all the students who participated in this seminar, this live stream, and helped us putting up everything together. And thank you. Keep on chimping.
Keep on chimping.